Hey spooks, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. So today I'm going to be showing you how you can achieve this Harley Quinn makeup and body paint. I'm also going to be showing you guys a really easy way to make Harley Quinn's mallet and for really cheap. My inspiration for this look was actually after I did Catwoman. I kind of knew I wanted to do a few more DC villains, and so from that I wanted to do the cartoon version of Harley Quinn. My brother and I grew up watching Batman, so I knew I wanted to do the cartoon version of her from the TV show, and I love how this turned out. The only thing I wanted to change, because in my head this is just how I saw it, I didn't want to have her hair up in the jester hat. I definitely wanted to have it in pigtails just because I wanted to pull some of the blonde hair out for this look. Another thing I considered doing was actually taking a mixture of the red and black Harley Quinn and the Suicides at Harley Quinn and kind of making my own little mixture of that. But then I decided that'd be a really fun thing, and I could probably maybe do that anytime throughout the year if I really wanted to. And this is definitely more of a costume version. Plus I really got to go all out with the body paint, so I love how this turned out. So anyways, if you guys are interested in seeing how you can achieve this Harley Quinn makeup and body paint, or you want to learn how you can make her mallet, then just keep watching. Hey guys, so to start off, I'm going to be showing you how I made my Harley Quinn mallet. So for this, you're going to need to start off by taking 2 oats containers. The reason you need 2 is you're only really using 1, but you need 2 lids, 1 for each side of the mallet. So that is why you need 2, and honestly, just store the rest in a giant container downstairs. You can also use oats for fake vomit or anything like that, so just some ideas to throw out there. So you're going to start off by spray painting your lids black before moving on to your oats container, and I'm just going to be spray painting the entire thing red and waiting for those to dry. We're then going to be moving on to making the handle. So for this, I actually got this handle. It's a cane from Party City, and I saw it was literally about $3 to $5. So I just picked it up because it was the perfect size. I wanted the handle to be a little longer just because I personally think that's more fun. But if you can't find this, or maybe you just don't want to go to Party City, you could also get a PVC pipe, and that should work just as well. The only thing is you will just have to spray the entire thing black first. This was really helpful because I didn't have to worry about spray painting it because it was already black. So as you can see, I'm taking my painter's tape and I'm going to be making a spiral along the cane. This is just going to be starting off by taking it at an angle at the very top of the cane and then slowly rotating your cane around while it's creating this pattern. Something that I recommend doing is only taking a little bit of tape at a time and then just lining up a new piece of tape with the older piece of tape to continue it down. This just helps. I tried to do it with just ripping off a super long piece and it just got really messy and it was harder to keep up with. This one, I ended up being able to kind of balance the cane on my hips and slowly turn it while I'm pulling the tape taut, and it just ended up being really easy, but it's definitely something that you have to play around with once or twice until you get the hang of it. So this is how it should look once it is covered in the tape, and basically what's going to happen is once we spray paint this, the paint is only going to be applied to the areas that are still exposed, and once we take off the tape, you're going to be able to see the black underneath. So I'm just going to be going in with my red spray paint and just spray painting the entire thing and slowly turning it just to make this easy. Then I'm going to be actually resting it on the red cap overnight so it can dry, and I'll just be coming back to remove the tape in the morning. So once it is time to remove the tape, you just want to do this part slowly, and I do know that there is a trick regarding painter's tape that is going to completely ensure the fact that there will be 100% straight lines and there will be no bleeding. I personally don't know what that is, nor did I care to look that up, simply because I was okay if this was a little messy, because this is Harley Quinn and she is not the most organized or put together person, and so I just thought that this would actually kind of add to the character a little bit and have it be a little scratched up and just a little bit more human, I guess. This is how your finished handle should look. I personally absolutely love it, even with its little mistakes as well. So now we're going to be moving on to wrapping the oats container. This is an area that I personally struggled with a lot just because I could not get the shape for the life of me, and I found that just trying to really go at a 45-degree angle and pull it taut is going to help the most, and then you're just going to have to add more swirls manually. This isn't the kind of thing where it's like the cane where you can honestly just consistently turn it and it's going to be perfect. This is something that you actually are going to have to cut a separate piece of tape to align in the middle of the dash that you already made. Next, I'm going to be taking my black spray paint and covering the container, and I'm going to be doing it the exact same way I did the handle, where you just cover the entire thing while slowly turning it. And the reason I decided to do red first was because black is more pigmented, so if I laid black down first and then covered the open areas with red, I feel like the red color wouldn't pop as much as I wanted it to, where this, you get that beautiful bright red color and then the other areas are darkened to black. And once that has had time to completely dry, you're then going to go ahead and remove your painter's tape. And this is what it should look like so far. Then we're just going to go ahead and decorate our lids. For this part, you can get as creative as you would like. I just decided to do 4 red diamonds on one side, and on the other side, I decided to write your face here. Once again, I let this be as messy as possible because I didn't want it to be perfect. If I wanted this entire project to be perfect, there are probably a few things I would have done differently, but I absolutely love how it worked out because it feels very comfortable and handmade, and it definitely holds a special place in my heart. Also, something to keep in mind is, yes, I am using spray paint, and yes, it is in a styrofoam cup, which obviously was degrading the styrofoam, but this is because I didn't have any red acrylic paint, and I knew it would degrade the styrofoam, but I was okay because I didn't really care that much. So if you have it, I would definitely recommend red acrylic paint or something, or making a stencil for your diamonds, just something, because this was difficult, and it's cute, but it was annoying. Next, we're going to go ahead and insert the handle into our little oats container. So for this, you just want to carefully stab a hole into the very middle of the container, making sure it is big enough, and then going ahead and inserting the pole. Now you can go ahead and hot glue the pole into it if you would like. I didn't, just because I wasn't feeling like it. I'm not going to any Comic-Con with this, but if you are going to a Comic-Con, I would try to make sure that this is as secure as possible, because currently it's just a pole sticking into a container. There's nothing to help secure it. Then you're simply going to be adding some hot glue onto your lids and just attaching them to the container, making sure that they are secure and that they are well placed. Next, I wanted to add a few little fun details to this hammer. I wanted to make some bows, so I just got a bunch of different ribbons from the craft store. This one is a pretty glitter red wire ribbon, and so I'm just going to be making it into a bow and slipping it onto the pole, and then I'm going to be doing the exact same thing with some black ribbon, and I'm also going to be taking some white ribbon as well, curling it up, and then attaching that to my pole. And that is it for your easy DIY Harley Quinn mallet. Next, we're going to be moving on to the makeup. I'm going to start off by taking my NYX Total Control foundation in porcelain and applying that all over my face. I personally like to start off with a light colored foundation on my face before going over it with white, simply because I feel like it is easier to blend and it is smoother if you mix it with a foundation. I'm also going to quickly be setting this with my Tarte Smooth Operator setting powder. I'm then going to be taking my ColourPop No Filter Concealer in white and just applying that over my face before blending that out and mixing it into the foundation. Next, I will be taking my Mare on Paradise paint in white and just applying this all over my face. Once again, when it comes to white body paints and white colors all over your body, in my opinion, it is very important to slowly blend it up to avoid any streaks, because white is notable for always streaking, and I want to avoid that, especially if we want to make it look realistic. We're going to be jumping back over to our Tarte setting powder and setting our face once again. I'm going to be taking my Makeup Geek eyeshadow in White Lies and just applying this under my eyes to really help set that area before applying this all over our lid. I'm then going to be taking my NYX Epic Ink Liner and creating a nice bold winged liner on my lash line, simply because this is really it in regards to our eyes. We don't really have that much eyeshadow going on. Even when we add some later on, there's not really much happening, so you definitely want to have this be a focus point under the mask. Next, I'm going to be outlining the mask, simply because I don't want to go in with black immediately and make some kind of huge mistake, so I find it easier to outline with white. So I'm going to be taking my NYX Faux White Eyeliner in Baby Powder and just lightly outlining the area that I'm going to want to have exposed under the mask, making sure to blend that out just a little bit, and even add a little bit more of my ColourPop No Filter Concealer onto my eyelid and set that just to help brighten it up a little bit more, because I was finding that the yellow tones from my porcelain foundation were starting to peek out a little bit, and I wanted to help alleviate that. I'm then going to be going into my Mare on Paradise paint in black, and we're going to start on the official outline of our mask. So I'm just going to lightly be applying this right under our eye, just following the outline from our baby powder eyeliner. I'm then going to be taking it up the arch of my brow, lifting it up higher than my arch would be, and starting to fill that in. This is going to be the upper portion of the mask, and for the lower portion of the mask, I'm just going to be adding another line under the line that is already under our eye and start to fill that in as well. And then of course we're just going to be doing the exact same thing on our other eye. Once that is done, we're going to be connecting the masks through the bridge of our nose and just filling in the empty space. I'm then going to be taking my Lorac Mega Pro 3 palette, taking Mist, and just applying that lightly into the crease of the eye because I found that it needed some more definition. So I'm also going to be taking my jet black eyeshadow and apply that to my lower lash line, and also apply just a tiny bit of that into the crease as well, just to help add a little bit more definition to my eye shape. Next, I'm going to be taking my Maybelline Lasting Drama eyeliner in sleek black and apply that to my lower waterline. I'm also going to be going back into my Mist eyeshadow and using that as a light contour for Harley. I was debating using this at all because her character honestly doesn't have much definition to her face, but for me personally, I just wanted a tiny bit, and I'm even going to deepen that up with my jet black eyeshadow as well. Moving on to lips, I'm actually going to be taking my Maybelline Lasting Drama eyeliner in sleek black and using that as a lip liner because I don't have a black lip liner and this works just as well. I'm then going to be taking my Kat Von D liquid lipstick in Witches and applying that all over my lips before going back into my Lorac Mega Pro 3 palette, taking Pomegranate and just lightly tapping that on to the liquid lipstick just so we can have a nice red iridescent look. I'm then going to be taking my Mare on Paradise paint in black again, and we're going to be moving on to the body paint. I'm going to start off by making the cutoff area for her little, I don't know what you would call it, the puffs, the little puffs. And we're also going to be separating our neck into two halves. One half is going to be black, the other half we're going to be taking our Mare on Paradise paint in red and coloring that side red. Because whenever she is wearing her little jester hat, her neck piece matches her hat piece. So that is going to be matching our neck piece with our hair piece. And then after the little puff, it is going to be switching sides. So where the black side is, it's actually going to then become red, all that fun stuff. We're going to be going back into our Mare on Paradise paint in white and create the beautiful puff. So for the collared puff, I'm going to be creating that white line right underneath of our two stripes and starting to outline the design of her little jester puff. So I'm actually referencing these photos right here to kind of replicate the shape. To be honest, this kind of ends up just looking like a little puzzle piece. I'm then going to be moving on to adding the red body paint on the left side of my body and applying the black body paint to the right side of my body. I'm leaving a little open area just so I can fill in the little white puffs because at this point I wasn't quite sure exactly how big I wanted them to be. And once that is done, I'm going to be filling in the rest of the collar with my white body paint and blending it out with my It Cosmetics airbrush brush. Once the white is completely filled in, I'm then going to go ahead and fill in the rest of the sides of the costume. So that is going to be applying the black and the red body paint and also outlining the entire collar with some black body paint and applying some shadows with some of my black eyeshadow as well. And our mask was looking a little bare, so I'm going to be going back into my Mare on Paradise paint in white and applying a few highlights to this mask. This is going to help make the mask look a little bit more three-dimensional in the mask itself because we're going to be adding these highlights, so we're going to be adding high points to the mask, making it look like it's actually being lifted off of our face. I also went ahead and added a quick highlight to the lip because we're going to be covering that soon, and I'm going to prep my eyelashes by curling them before taking my Tarte Tarteist Lash Paint Mascara and just sweeping that through my eyelashes. Going back to the lips, I'm then going to be taking my NYX Butter Gloss in Apple Crisp and just applying that over the lips to kind of bring out a little bit more of the red gloss that her character has. I'm then going to be taking my Ardell Faux Mink Lashes in number 811 and just applying that to my lash line. And last but certainly not least, we're going to be going back into our jet black eyeshadow and lightly applying this all around the mask. This is probably one of the most important steps, being that this is really going to help solidify the mask looking more three-dimensional because you're going to be creating these shadows that the mask would be casting on your face. And that is the completed look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below if you'd like to see next. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel so you can see more of my Halloween videos. Don't forget to click the notification bell so you can be notified. I do upload a new Halloween themed makeup tutorial every weekday for the month of October, and every Saturday or weekend at this point, I upload a Spoopy Saturday video, which is basically just a little video to take a break from the makeup tutorials and kind of get to connect with you guys a little bit more. So anyways, I really hope you enjoyed this makeup and mallet tutorial, and with all of that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!